Greetings everyone. Today I am going to present my topic nanotechnology and discuss its important aspects and features, which makes it a very important field of science and engineering. So let's move on to the contents. The contents of this presentation are: it starts with a brief introduction, then we discuss about nanomaterials. These nanomaterials are the basic building blocks of this nanotechnology. Then we discuss the history of nanotechnology, basic tools used in nanotechnology, and the applications of nanotechnology. We also discuss the pros and cons of nanotechnology. Then we move to the present scenario of nanotechnology in India. Then we discuss nanomaterial engineering and a conclusion, the last part. So, introduction. The nanotechnology has a great potential to transform the society, and it is a unique type of manufacturing and science with its aid, we can build things from atom up and rearrange matter with atomic accuracy. It is in simple words, nanotechnology is a science which deals with manipulation of nanomaterials. These nanomaterials are the particles which are of very small size, that is nanometer. It is 10 to the power minus 9 meter. It is a very small size, and in nanotechnology we deal with manipulating and enhancing materials by controlling this nanomaterials. So in materials we control the smallest part of the atom, smallest atoms, and we rearrange these atoms, and we do it in such a way we get a specified outcome from the material. Then we can define nanotechnology as three-dimensional structural control of materials and machines at molecular level. That is, it also deals with objects, manipulation of these objects and things at atomic level. Nanomaterials. So as I said before, nanomaterials are materials which are having a range of size 1 to 100 nanometer. The science of skillfully operating the materials in nano size is known as nanotechnology. The word nano is derived from a Greek word which means tiny, very small. So nanomaterials are materials at a very small size. In nanometers we are measuring them. And nanotechnology, it is the science of controlling nanomaterials and get a specified outcome as a product. The materials of nano size are having some specific properties that the materials of ordinary size does not have. So if we have ability to control the nanomaterials, we can use it to get new, materials with new chemical properties and physical properties. Then history of nanotechnology. In the year of 1959, Richard Feynman, he was a Nobel Prize winner, and initially he was the person who furnished the idea of molecular manufacturing. He was the foremost scientist who suggested that machines and materials could someday need atomic description. Then, following that, in 1986, Gerd Binning and Heinrich Rohr, they invented scanning tunneling microscope. Scanning tunneling microscope, it is commonly known as STM. It is a very important tool of nanotechnology. They were also awarded Nobel Prize. Tools of nanotechnology. Nanotechnology tools. That means these tools, they are used to observe and manipulate nanomaterials. These nanotechnological tools, they are used to they are specific hardware or software. They are used to measure or manipulate structures of nanoscale. They include microscopes, probes, lithography systems, manipulation and fabrication system software, and any other accessories. A very common example which we have discussed before is a scanning tunneling microscope or STM. It is a device which it is used to view and manipulate nanoscale particles and atoms of small scale. So it is not just used to view these nanomaterials, but it can also manipulate the nanomaterials. There are also other tools which are used for nanotechnology, but the most common example is the STM. Then application of nanotechnology. Nanotechnology, as we discussed, is a very important field of science. So it has many applications also. So we are discussing it. Nanotechnology, first application is tougher and harder materials. That is, the nanomaterials, as we said before, have specific properties that the other materials of ordinary size does not have. So if we are able to manipulate this nanomaterials, then we are able to impart some properties. That is, the material may become more tougher and harder. Then these materials can be used for many different types of constructions, which require tougher and harder materials than the usual material. So a usual material can be made tougher and harder by using nanotechnology. Then nanotechnology is used in molecular electronics. So electronic components as nanotechnology. Nano means small. So small components can help in making molecular electronics better by using smaller components. In military also we can use this molecular electronics, the tougher harder materials, the ones we discussed above. They can be used in military. In medical uses, then materials with better insulating properties, nanowires. So from all these applications we can understand the nano, the property of materials with small size. They are being manipulated successfully to be compatible with all these uses. Then advantages of nanotechnology. Due to reduced size, mass and power consumption, they have high functionality. So as it has small size, it is supposed to have smaller mass. So the power consumption is also small. It is a very big advantage of nanomaterials. So due to this property, it may have advanced features like higher reliability, more strength and more resistance. So materials are successfully manipulated to give all these properties. Then electronic devices, including transistors, LED. The development in these devices, that means we are using smaller devices, nano devices. So these fields of engineering can be successfully developed. So better power production and waste management techniques. The nanotechnology can be used in power production also. These nanomaterials can be incorporated to various electronic devices, and they can be used in the field of power production and waste management techniques. So moving on to disadvantages. Possible loss of jobs in traditional. Okay, so we are having these nanomaterials. They have better properties than if we are able to manipulate them in such a manner. These nanomaterials, they are able to replace the traditional units of many industries, like traditional farming, manufacturing industries. They all can be replaced by nanotechnology. Then atomic weapons can now be more accessible and made to be more powerful and more destructive. Atomic weapons can also be enhanced using nanotechnology. So better power production is offered by nanotechnology. Like we are still in a developing stage, these are not completely developed. So maybe we may be able to develop atomic weapons with more accessible, with more cheaper production, better power, and it can be easily produced. So next point. Nanotechnology is very expensive and developing it can cost a lot of money. That is a disadvantage because it is just a developing field of science. So nanotechnology, it requires a lot of money because it is still under research to be developed. We are not at a field where we can cheaply construct these. So it needs a lot of money, and it is also difficult to manufacture because we are in still develop better manufacturing techniques. So it is still pretty difficult to manufacture. Next, present scenario in India. There are a lot of efforts to promote nanotechnology. From a long time, we are having efforts to promote nanotechnology, like various schemes, government as well as private sectors. They are having various schemes. These schemes are like this Nano Science and Technology Initiative. It started with a funding of 60 crores. In 2007, government also launched a 5-year program known as Nano Mission. It had wider objectives and it had a larger functioning funding of almost 250 US dollars. Um, this scheme, it had been based on these research areas like nanotechnology, human resource development, infrastructure development, and international collaboration. In 2013, India ranked third in the number of published articles. We were just behind China and USA. Though people looked at nanoscience and technology very positively, the number of students learning or having disciplines, undergraduate disciplines in this field are very less. That is because nanotechnology is not that popular. So it is also a disadvantage of nanotechnology. That is, it is still under development. So the number of people having undergraduate degrees or more degrees, higher degrees, are very less because there are very low job opportunities at present. So the number of people having undergraduate degree is very less. That is why present scenario in India, we are not having much of a development in nanotechnology, much a significant development. Then nanomaterial engineering. Nanoscience is a developing field of research with wide range of possibilities for development. Career possibility is still limited. Like we said before, people with undergraduate degrees and higher degrees are very less. It is due to career possibility. And it is assumed to be a field of science and engineering with large number of possibilities in the span of a few years. So in the coming years, now nanotechnology is being developed to such a high extent. Like in the few next coming years, nanotechnology and this nanomaterial engineering, it may become one of the core field of engineering and it may influence all the industries. So, present nanomaterial engineering is not having such a high significance in India as well as other countries. Conclusion. From our presentation, we are able to understand that the nanomaterials, they are having various chemical and physical properties which the normal materials does not have. So, by this nanomaterial engineering, we are able to construct any chemically stable structure that can be allowed by laws of physics. So we can produce new type of materials with various new properties. This technology can be manipulated to help all industries and all industrial structures, like whatever industry, agricultural industry, mechanical industry, or any medicinal industry or health industry. Any industry can be helped by nanotechnology. So nanotechnology, it is considered as a very important technology for future development. So in the coming few years, nanotechnology is going to influence all industries, and hence it is going to be a very important field of engineering and science. So I conclude my presentation, and I hope I was able to make everyone understand about the various significance of nanotechnology and the importance of nanotechnology. Thank you.